Let us bow our heads for the invocation. O God our Father, who led our forefathers into this fair land, and in whose keeping are the destinies of men and nations, we ask thy blessing upon us as we gather here to dedicate this building to the memory of the hardy pioneers of this county and of the great state of which it is a part. In the name of the Master of all good workmen, we ask it. Amen.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this is a noted occasion to the city of Madison, to Lake County, to General Beadle State Teachers College, and to the state of South Dakota. And this dedication is a culmination of an idea that was started a number of years ago here in Lake County, first by the organization of the Lake County Historical Society, with the introduction of a law in the legislature through the efforts of former Senator Erickson and Senator Frederickson at that time. And we not only dedicate this structure here today, but we recognize the efforts of the Lake County Historical Society and also of the donors of this magnificent building. I'm happy to say, of course, that both of these donors are graduates of this institution. So at this time, I'm going to call on Miss Lily Zimmerman. Would you have a word that you would like to say at this time, Ms. Zimmerman?
I thought of giving quite a little speech, but you have been told why this has been started, so I'll not make a speech, for I think we have others with us who will make speeches that you will enjoy more. But I'd like to say this. I want to thank everybody who helped so much to get this started here today. I thought there'd be about 200 or 300 here, and here I see all these faces. And thank you very much for everything. And I think that'll be all I have to say today. And my speech is still in my handbag.
Thank you, Ms. Zimmerman. The other member of this team of donors, I have had the opportunity to talk with him a great deal regarding the Lake County Historical Society and the idea that he had, but I think we should hear from him on this occasion and what he has to say. Mr. George Smith.
I must say I'm very pleased to welcome the Governor, wonderful Senator, all you honored guests, and you good people, and really in order to protect you from listening to one of the most wonderful speeches that I could make, I just wrote down a few lines that I thought might be appropriate for this occasion, and I'm going to try to confine myself. Once you get me started on some of these historical lines, and I don't know enough to quit. I have always liked old things and elderly people, and especially the pioneers who settled this country. I am very glad that we were able to build and donate this museum to the Lake County Historical Society, the college, and the community in memory of two pioneer families who had given much of their lives to the community. It is some satisfaction to be able to look back over the 80 years of the life of Lake County and to feel that you had a small part in its development from a wilderness to what it is today. I'm just going to say that's all. Thank you very much.
We are indeed honored on this occasion by having the Governor with us, and so it is an honor to present to you at this time the Honorable Archie Gubrud, Governor of the state of South Dakota. Governor Gubrud.
Thank you, Dr. Lowry, platform guests, friends,
It's really a pleasure for me to be here this afternoon. I think it is for all of us, because it's really a good day to be in South Dakota. Of course, I think most every day is a good day to be in South Dakota, but today is especially so. Driving up here from down Beersford, where my mother lives, I've never seen South Dakota look any better than it does today. And to come up here and see this beautiful building, that too makes us proud to be a part of South Dakota. I think we see South Dakota at its best. And I think here we have an example of our people at its best. When we have these people who have so unselfishly given, something like this that's going to contribute a great deal to not only Lake County and Madison and General Beadle Teachers College, but to the whole state of South Dakota. I think that is an example of South Dakota people at their best. I'm sure that if the Captain Smith, who came here in 1878, could see this, he'd be very happy and very proud. And I'm also sure that if Mr. Zimmermann, who they tell me was the engineer on the first steamboat to round Cape Horn, could see this, he too would be very proud. And I know that the citizens of this area are proud of this place, and they're proud to know the people that made it possible. It's really good to be with you. It's good to be in South Dakota, and I'm very proud to have a part of our state that will produce people that will leave things like this behind them. Because the greatness of a person isn't measured by the things they do for themselves, but they are measured by the things they do for others. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor Goober. Speaking in recognition is a gentleman whose roots are deep in this community, but who sees the implications of history on a worldwide basis. He has had a part in making a great deal of history in recent years in this nation. And we're very happy to welcome back to this campus our senior senator from South Dakota, Senator Carl E. Mundt. Carl, it's nice to have you here.
President V.A., Governor, distinguished associates on the platform, and fellow South Dakotans, fellow Americans all. It is good to be home, and it's especially good to be back on the campus where I served so long as a teacher, and in the hometown where I lived since a boy, for a very monumental occasion like this, in tribute to two of South Dakota's outstanding citizens, Lillian Zimmermann and George Smith. And surely, looking around and seeing this vast auditorium filled with people crowding in at the doorways, some out on the campus who cannot get in, many, I'm sure, listening in to our fine local radio station. I'm sure that Lillian and George, you feel that really your efforts and your generosity are appreciated by your townspeople here. I can tell you, as one who goes around the state a great deal, giving more and more speeches to smaller and smaller audiences, it's very difficult on an October Sunday afternoon to get together a crowd of this size. I doubt if you could bring in 10 people from America who'd crowd the campus on this afternoon, as Lillian and George have done. You know, but a very few countries in all the world that have people like Lillian and George and all these people seated here in this concave who came here at the time we were still a territory and becoming a state. Many of whom have lived in Madison a long time. I remember delivering laundry to the homes of some of you and selling truck garden to the homes of you in 1910 and 11 and 12 when I was a boy here in Madison, South Dakota. I said this is a young country. Here's George Smith, 88, and Lillian Zimmermann at 92. And then this man of agelessness, my old friend Harry Morris, sitting down there at 97, whose arms are longer than his legs because he stretched them so far apart running Mars Beach telling the visitors how big the fish were. Think of it, 277 years of human history wrapped up in Harry and George and Lillian, almost 3 centuries. Here are the people who have built our state and built our country. Well, one is tempted to dilate at great length about those things which pay recognition to great builders like these.